Hello, my name's Bond, Richard Bond, and this is Curmudgeonly Yours, a show on Society Bites Radio, part of the Radio Ear Network family, supplying social interaction for the mind and soul. The introductory and concluding music to this show is La Polonaise by Wieniawski, played by Max Bond. I am your host and curmudgeon, where everything is what it seems. Nothing is what it seems. And what is not said is often of most interest. Today, I will be speaking with Melanie Werner, inventor, CEO, and founder of MIXELLE Fragrance and MixByMe customization technology. Hi, Melanie.
Hi, Richard.
Hi, Melanie. Hi. It's good to have you on Curmudgeonly Yours on Society Bites Radio, which is part of the Radio Ear Network and broadcasting out of Sarasota, Florida. Melanie Werner recognized a market gap in the area of fragrance customization and subsequently patented a packaging dispenser designed to proportionally adjust the volumetric ratio of fluids, kept separate using individual cartridges. Here the goal is to dial up a uniquely personalized fragrance. Earlier in her career, Melanie Werner worked in advertising and marketing for consumer products and services. A creative entrepreneur at heart, Melanie's first business was a fine art gallery, and she still remains active in the art world today. Ms. Werner graduated with a BA from Westminster College in Pennsylvania and currently lives in Palm Beach, South Florida. The program today is MIXELLE, Fragrance by Me, Fragrance for Me. The fragrance world is an established industry that's had little change since the era of Cleopatra. However, South Florida-based inventor Melanie Werner is upending the elite world of perfumery and is changing the future for the way fragrance wearers think about and use perfume. Melanie, you're the founder and creator of an entirely new fragrance category that's said to be a major game changer for the fragrance world. Can you tell me about your MIXELLE brand and its proprietary dispensing technology that you've patented?
Richard. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak to your listeners. And I have to say, it sounds a little bit hard to imagine over the airwaves, but the MIXELLE brand instantly personalizes a fragrance inside the bottle by simply dialing up favorite combinations. So this sounds kind of like magic, and it sort of is, but MIXELLE is the very first brand to launch with this patented MixByMe fragrance technology. So when you mentioned that it's a MixByMe fragrance technology, so when you mention that I'm developing a new category, you are exactly right. This has never been attempted before, certainly never been accomplished before. So MIXELLE and the MixByMe technology is rewriting the history of fragrance. So it's quite exciting.
That's wonderful. Well, it sounds like one real high-tech perfume bottle. The technology is part and parcel to the brand. Now, how does it work?
So although the technology defines and differentiates the MIXELLE brand from the past, the brand is actually not about the technology. MIXELLE is about the reality of easily creating a bespoke fragrance on demand. So it's super easy, and I'll explain if we have the time. So fragrance lovers select their favorites from among 3 different specifically formulated perfume collections that we've developed, and they're titled Cashmere, Gypsy, and Soleil. So now, if you can imagine, the MIXELLE has a custom bottle that has separated glass chambers that house the fragrance components. So there are dials on dial settings on the exterior of the bottle, and by changing the dial settings, you create a fine fragrance that's new and fresh and you're creating a new fragrance with every combination you dial up. So to further that, by example, if you just click it to the left, you change the dial setting, you can customize for warmer, fresher, daytime, nighttime, party time, whatever it is that you want your fragrance to sound like, smell like.
So it sounds great. It's like a perfume bottle with three compartments: cashmere, gypsy, and soleil. How many different formulations can you find in this bottle?
So believe it or not, there are over 300 different formulations contained in a single bottle. So you can smell differently almost every day of the year. And it actually prevents your nose from going what's called nose blind. So for example, if you wear the same fragrance every day, all day, and your nose becomes immune to it after a while. So simply by changing a dial setting, voila, you have a new fragrance. And I just wanted to add that, so essentially you can dial up a new fragrance for every mood, every occasion, every facet of your life. And it might sound a little complicated, but it's actually very, very intuitive. So it's basically you select, you dial up your formulation, you tweak it, you play with it, spray and go. It's really fun.
So like these three bottles, Gypsy, Cashmere, and Soleil, right, which means sun, of course,
right.
You can make 300 different formulations. That seems hard to believe.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing. It's a very powerful packaging technology. And in fact, future iterations of it may not be limited to fragrance. This technology can be adapted to other areas like herbal essential oils, dialing up different formulations for that, etc. Once the technology comes into the market, there's almost no limit to how it can be.
Wow, and each fragrance combo smells good, right?
Yeah, it actually does. So MIXELLE's dial-up feature alters the perfume heart. So without getting too technical, basically you change the dial setting and voila, the modifiers are empowered to transform and modulate the perfume heart. So to put it in simple terms, if the perfume heart is the little black dress, then the modifiers are the accessories that dress it up or dress it down, quickly and easily expanding your fragrance wardrobe. So you really no longer need to have 4 or 5 bottles on your vanity. MIXELLE consolidates the fragrance wardrobe into one bottle. So it's really quite, like I said, quite powerful.
So when you travel, then you don't have to bring all these bottles of perfume because we're all limited in the amount of weight that we can take. That's fabulous. I like your analogy with the little black dress that a woman wears often too when she goes out, and the accessories. Right. Melanie, how does this affect the famous brands we've grown to love? Like Chanel and all of these other different perfumes.
No, good question. So for the first time, fragrance is easily and instantly customizable. And importantly, it's really interactive. So this is the first brand that allows you to really play and experiment. So MIXELLE encourages consumers to play with their scents and to discover a fragrance combination that's just perfect for your current mood.
Wow. Well, Melanie, this sounds exciting but complicated. How did this technology come to be?
Well, you got that right. It sounds complicated, but we've noodled it so it's really very intuitive. And trust me, it was no easy task. We patented the technology in 3 different ways. Then we went on to coin the term MixByMe customizing technology. We had an entire team of design and manufacturing engineers behind the project. And like I said, we noodled this technology until it was totally user-friendly and mistake-proof. So on the fragrance formulation side, that was a whole different aspect of the development of this brand. So we knew what we had to do technically to achieve this brand. But now we had to turn our attention to the fragrance formulation side. And MIXELLE's sophisticated formulas were crafted by an experienced nose associated with an internationally renowned fragrance supplier. So we really had the best of the best working on this project. We relied on highly trained perfume chemists to create a fantastic user experience. And importantly, what consumers need to know is that there's a built-in safety net. And I emphasize that users will always walk away smelling great. So no worries, you won't walk away smelling awful. The formulation has been, the formulation has been very carefully thought out, and it's actually very clever.
Now, just for our listeners, could you just explain what nose means? A nose?
Oh, sure. A nose. It's a perfume. It's a fragrance chemist. So somebody that's been highly trained in the art of perfumery. So they would have advanced degrees in chemistry, and then specifically coursework or experience in the fragrance industry. So these are people that develop new fragrances all day, every day. This is their school job, and they're really professionals.
The reason I asked is because I thought it was just somebody with a very good sense of smell.
No, this is not your mother's nose. This is a highly experienced nose.
Okay. Melanie, this is a highly disruptive technology. What's been the consumer reaction to the MIXELLE concept?
So that was actually a fun part of our research. We did focus groups, and our consumer testing and research has been overwhelmingly positive. So the millennials and Gen Zers have grown up in an era of self-expression, customization, personalization. They definitely want it their way, and it's in their DNA.
Sure.
So Gen Zers are all about the selfie. I mean, this is the generation that grew up with the smartphone, taking selfies and social posting. So I like to think that MIXELLE is the selfie of fine fragrance.
The selfie of fine fragrance. I like that. That sounds great. What about the baby boomers? Will they ever depart from their Chanel number 5 or White Diamonds?
Oh, Elizabeth Taylor's White Diamond. It was the first big celebrity fragrance, and agreed, it's very well known as is, of course, Chanel number 5.
Well, you've taught me something.
Right. We did test on the boomer market as well, and MIXELLE definitely resonated with this group. So remember, this demographic craves a signature fragrance. They love exclusivity, and MIXELLE offers an elegant, bespoke expression, so it's perfect for them. So imagine the cachet when asked during a party, "Oh, I love your fragrance. What are you wearing?" And then you could answer, "Well, it's my private blend from MIXELLE. And would you like me to share my formula with you?" So it becomes very, very exclusive, very personal.
But you can't share it, can you? I mean, it's yours, and it's like special. And how are they going to want to buy it? I guess you can make your own, huh?
Right. Well, exactly. So, for example, say you wanted to share your formula with someone, you can text, the formulation, so it's dialed up. So you can text 239, Cashmere 239, or Solea 476. So you can share that recipe. You can tweet it. You can put it on social media. It actually has a social media component built in with the brand, because we really want people to encourage sharing and exploring. And hey, what are you wearing to the concert tonight? I'm dialing up, Solea 237. What are you wearing? It's meant to be fun and interactive. It's a new way to new language for fragrance.
It's a very, very good thing. I never thought that you would wear some sort of fragrance in the morning and one when you go out for sports, or when you go out for a drink. Or I never thought of that. Do you think it sounds very creative? Sorry, Melanie. It sounds creative and liberating, Melanie. Do you think the concept's easy